Alright, so this is literally going to be my first battle with my new mic setup. I've literally just set it up. I have no idea if it even works properly. So I'm just going to throw myself straight into this battle, commentate it, see what happens. If it goes well, then 3 thumbs up. If it doesn't, then, well, shit. It's not like it can get any worse anyway, so LOL, sad life. So, I had a comment on one of my last battles about that the Empire players that I played against did make huge mistakes with the cannons, and that a Dwarf player probably wouldn't make those mistakes. I hate to be Mythbusters, but that has been debunked. These Dwarf players are just as clueless when it comes to cannons as Empire players. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, smack my opponent about or anything, but again, yeah, I mean, look, 2 cannons here with Dwarf players. The Empire player has some 6 cannons altogether. 3 Ragnaroks. These are going to get completely unscathed by cannons. I don't understand why. I mean, if you're going up against 3 Ragnaroks, you have 6 cannons. Damn right, you should be shooting these things in the face. I mean, these are absolutely huge. They're going to just wreck shop. I mean, he's got halberdiers. Maybe feels pretty good. He's got demigrapes for halberds, which I don't actually know that they're there. So this is when the Great Goblin Shaman runs straight into them. I'm like, oh shit, my Goblin Shaman just died. But I mean, honestly, this Goblin Shaman plus 3 big bosses. By the way, none of these big bosses have potions, mainly because the server was no potions. Because it kind of adds a little bit of kind of spammy cheesiness, especially when you're going up against the like Bretonia and Empire. Mainly Beastmen, they're the big problem, but big bosses aren't that big of an issue with dual potions because they're out so quick that the potions don't even work. So as you can see, I mean the cannons have just been, yeah, that fight's going to go really very well. But as you can see, the cannons have been smashing the shit out of the orcs for some reason. I mean, these goblins. I mean, right, look at this, kid. Just look at this engagement. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, and at this point, I'm not even joking anymore. Goblins are the best meat shield in the game. 3 Slayers, I think. No, a Longbeard, a Dwarf Warrior, 2 Slayers and a Thane, getting held down by Goblins. Are you shitting me? 300 versus, I don't even know how much this would cost, but if you're not bringing Goblins, you're just not playing the game right. Just throw yourself out of a window. I mean, I mean, a zombie couldn't do this. I don't even think Spearman could do this. Obviously, it was his fault in the sense that he should have flanked around, but I mean, the fact that I can just now have, you know, free reign of his skirmishing army is just kind of insane. The fact that a 300 unit can hold down this just entire flank is bizarre. What's also bizarre is the fact that MT didn't bother bringing these Black Orcs into the fight, which was kind of weird. So these Thunderers are just going to shoot the shit out of them for some reason. I think he's just probably micromanaging somewhere else. But as you can see, I mean, the cannons are pretty much useless now. They're getting just overrun with wolves. Wolves are MVP. Honestly, I think they're the only cavalry worth bringing if you're bringing greenskins, to be honest. They're so cheap and so good. You know, beating these types of units, especially against Empire and Dwarves. Dwarves nullify charge bonus, have a charge bonus that nullifies the charge, so they're pretty much useless. I bring in Biggins and so it's pretty much useless. And against Empire, I mean, you got Demigryphs, so bring in Biggins. I mean, 3 units of Biggins won't bring down 1 Demigryph or Halibut. So to be honest, the only cavalry I can really recommend is Wolves. Wolves, it's just the one that I find to be the best to get a ton of kills usually if played right, and I mean, especially into line formations, which I'm really not that big a fan of, mainly because it's so easy to flank around. So I mean, Wolves and Goblins just, they're OP. What can I say? They need nerfed. Not really, but you know. So in terms of infantry engagements, I'm just obviously trying to support as many engagement as I can with the Goblins. I mean, these Goblins have came back, the MVP Goblins. Haven't got that many kills, but the fact that they were just able to hold this little flank down for a little while is kind of crazy. And I mean, yeah, it's just pretty much going to go the same way as every other battle goes. These Ragnaroks again get like no kills. I mean, the big bosses do decent, but not really. I mean, they've routed Demigryphs, which is great, but I mean, 6,000, and these are supposed to be like the best large units in the game. I think the large units in the game, they pretty much beat everything. And for the past 3 games running, they've gotten like no kills between them. Got maybe 40-50 kills between them, which is kind of crazy. I get more kills with 1 unit of Goblins in this match than all 3 Ragnaroks combined, I'm pretty sure. Goblin Shaman doesn't do too bad either, but pretty sure that's from Vindictive Glare. It's Overcast is incredibly powerful, so Yeah, as you can see right now, I mean, the formations are just completely broken. That's the, yeah, 48 kills. And that's the problem with line formations versus rush. Greenskins are just rush anything, really. I mean, the lines are just so easy to break, whereas a turtle or square or circle formation is just a hell of a lot harder. I mean, once you've gotten rid of the Thunderers, I mean, this Wolf Rider has been just beating the shit out of this Thunderer for, I don't know, pretty much right at the start of the game. I mean, I recharged them, and then I'm just going to chase them away. I mean, that's obviously a great engagement for Wolf Riders. 300 coins, and they've just completely wrecked a unit that would have been a huge threat to my Ragnarok. So, honestly, if you're going to play Dwarves and Empire versus Greenskins, just turtle up. I mean, you had 6 cannons that would have just decimated at least one of Ragnarok and done a lot of damage to the other one. Not to mention you got Halberdiers, which are great against the Ragnaroks. It's just, when you have a line formation, it makes it so vulnerable to, you know, your artillery is very vulnerable, your skirmishers are very vulnerable. It makes it easy to flank around, and it just never works. I've never came across a line formation that's playing defensive with a rush army and been intimidated at any point. I mean, 6 cannons, I was like, oh shit, but then as soon as I saw them firing at the Black Oaks, I was like, why are you firing at Black Oaks? They're big and nasty and all that, but these are the, I mean, look, like, they've took no damage and they've done no kills hardly, but they've killed Demigriffs, which was, I guess, not a cost-effective engagement, but it's an engagement I'll take, because I've literally got nothing else other than Halberdiers that can even touch these things. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I think it's just communication. That's what it boils down to. If there were, you know, if my opponents were kind of in a chat like me and empty, where it would have been a hell of a lot, you know, harder to break them. But I mean, 6 cannons and you fire at goblins. I mean, come on, what you doing, mate? So yeah, just a quick battle. I mean, this battle really is just to test out my new mic. This is pretty similar to my other 2 battles with goblins. Which is pretty funny, you know, goblins single player, or not single player, but like ranked battles, I can't seem to get a win because every time I go against them, it's just, you know, double Runesmith, double Thane, triple Paladin, Fly, and Death's God Bretonia. It's just, I can't touch them, I can't get past them. I won't bring 3 Ragnaroks, that's just way too sweaty. I'll only bring 2 on single players, but I mean, look at, Jesus Christ. You know what, I take it back, he gets more kills than all 3 Ragnaroks and all 3 Goblin Big Bosses. Jesus, so yeah, Goblins OP. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Biggins obviously did amazing. These Black Oaks did amazing. Wolf Riders did pretty good. They didn't get that many kills, but what they did do was they killed a lot of skirmishers. And there wasn't that many skirmishers on the game, or on the map really, so yeah, that was pretty much what Coraline 2 Thunderer, so yeah, I mean, I don't get it, honestly. I mean, if you look how many cannons, man, 6 cannons, and you look, lost like no health hardly. So yeah, I don't know. It's, if you're gonna go up against greenskins, and if you find a giant, if you find a Ragnarok, fire them with cannons, please. I get that Black Oaks are a big deal, and they're gonna be incredibly powerful and sturdy, and just a pain in the arse versus Longbeards. But what would you rather fight, a Longbeard, a Black Oak, or a Ragnarok? You know what I'm saying? So this is just a test video, really, just to see if this is working. I still need to kind of figure it out. There's actually blind spots on the mic, which means that my voice is going to be different volumes at different points. So it's going to be a bit of an adjustment period, since this isn't like a headset mic. It's an actual, like, on a arm thing, so it like bounces around and shit. So oh well, laters.